Alright, hello, hi, welcome back to... no, hold, give it a minute. Hello, hi, and welcome back to another episode of Beacon Pines. I am the Visual Pine, here, your host today, playing through this wonderful game that we've had a ton of fun with. We just did that, and I guess in theory I could go back and do that day again, but I've got a new... In fact, let's continue down that path. Let's accept Iggy's we'll wrap this one up.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
What the? Iggy! Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you really should step back. Why? Quickly. Curious. But of course. These fireworks series must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a particular substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks makes the whole freeze over. That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would happen in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It would take them a good while to safely break through the ice and access the source again. You know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been. In my own way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me. Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. You are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder. Revenge served cold, second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a
Wait. There were glowing letters there.
I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of secrets. Let's go back and find something more to...
No, but there was... Okay. Pine Harder. Hard cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
So now we're back to interrogating this fella here.
The chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well. Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver.
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver.
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the question here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as carrot and dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We could do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth can I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper, to make sure everything's ready. So you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gotta help her blow up the festival, huh? Blow up the festival? Good lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where...
His voice faded to a whisper.
The town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you were a little too hard on him. Well, he did say... What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know? What about the History Museum? Just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library? If there's any information about this source thing, Cato could help us find it. Let's go get some answers. There's a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Cato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Ms. Novak sometimes. Got your work for free? It's quiet, I get to access the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you, Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. If you're here for more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking into some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got on history of the town? There's county record archives. What's in those? First deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up like one of those asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life. till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
Got a better idea? Spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring country records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to...
J. Hartford here. Love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait. What was that name, Beck? The obit? J. Hartford. From Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grandname. Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were two J. Hartfords? Ms. Hartford is survived by her young daughter E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay. This is getting creepy. If your grand is 6 feet under, then 3 towns over. Then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Alright, let's go check on Mr. Tolliver. The kids left the door open here. That probably wasn't a good idea. And he's gone. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up and escaped his bindings and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach, not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. I just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his...
Afraid your jam delivery will be
He
delayed.
flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Uh-oh. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to fall. He tried to grab for the railing. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The jam? Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? She dragging me? She's totally dragging me. Rest now, let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Lucas snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival! To the festival, the festival. We're going to the festival, Mr. Van Horn. Jump down the stairs. Whee! Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. This one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa. Sly devil. Ooh, there's a new charm. Think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Ahem. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I am Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. Town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin a round of applause for benefiting such a great man. That's some weak applause. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Oh heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose you could say I could say a few words. Be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's exonerable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all here today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place had me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through Foul Harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are the horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand to a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, the thunder is gonna ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his...
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, with a happy heart, I can proclaim
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end on a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
That would be impossible to do because I absolutely adore what we've been doing here. This game is fantastic.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try it, please.
Okay. Can slime be used anywhere else? There's still a branch here. You can tell that we're like on the edge. So we're gonna try Slyclop. All right.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Modewell girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems to be a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know why Juniper is with her precaution. You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would have suspected a kid? Suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand, we never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. Turns out we're both in here
Beck
to
twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the
Beck
evidence.
shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal's nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone wants to find out what we're going to destroy, if anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan when we were stocking the candy shell. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase of Perennial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. She said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and know where to put it. It's gotta be something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. Whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf. All he sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Oh, well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
Just need to find the hidden meaning. Huh, okay. It's another word for underground. Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter's a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be, ooh, that's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Rollo, that was incredible. It's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Damn it, Rollo. Yeah, I think you're right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess I know where we go to next. All right. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the lice slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. All right, so here we are. We've got the last days before the festival, and at least 2 timelines. The festival, whatever happens to the source, causes the entire town to freeze over. And then in one of them, we delay it. So hopefully this one is another delay. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what did you have to report? What is this Zippin Town Festival really about? I think
Gus looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you can make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. It was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They're dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the...
We have a new choice to make now, sister. Town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus. You always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Talk to this. I know we're supposed to go to Nuncreed's, but, I just want to, I always want to check at things to make sure I'm, oh, it's little Valentine.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Whatever floats your boat. Tell a lot about a person by the choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I was wondering why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Well, we know from another timeline that the telephone booth... you seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Duncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
It's not a normal phone booth. It's got, like, blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Kren's Nude Rug Store. I mean, Underground Secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door, and they all...
All right, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we...
The inside
Ah!
of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the transdimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue number 12 were real? Rello, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of these has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha. Not that I know of. Town is all farms of fertilizer and series of tubes. Pa always said you could only trust miner up to the point where they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies to this exact situation. Think about Pa, you don't always realize what he means till it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Is that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. I Perennial Harvest have a tube go to the old Valentine place. Starting to feel a lot like something big. This suit has a broken mask. So we found our mystery warehouse creeper. At least found their hazmat suit. Looks like Duncreed and talks like Duncreed. He's not such up to conclusions. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Willow's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. What did you do? Nothing. Didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. 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 Awesome. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers, Mr. Underground Secrets. Told them it was an absurd password, but they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops down, Duncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Well, you don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this? That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. With hell bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Duncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. Thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick and villain palindrome plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what he's doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
Tad, to keep you safe. Tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to...
You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's gonna disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this is the only underground layer we've been busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark and a fountain in town square. The fountain, but why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? The heck is the source? She tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's gonna freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. Whee! You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth.
So my penchant for cliffhangers is going to continue today, as I call it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We learned a little bit more that probably it's Gran's fault, if that is who she says she is. It's Gran's fault that the town keeps freezing over because she keeps messing with the source. Luca has saved the source once, or at least delayed whatever it's doing once. And we're getting closer and closer to the truth with each episode, and I love it. This game is fantastic. Story is fantastic, and it's been an absolute pleasure to play it all for y'all, and I hope you're enjoying the series. So we're going to end it there. I've been the Visual Pine, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget that if you're new around here, to hit that subscribe button. And last but not least, leave a comment below if you're enjoying the series. Want to see more stuff like this? I greatly appreciate hearing your feedback. Y'all have a fantastic day. Hope your week was awesome, and hope your evening is awesome. See you next time, friends. Goodbye.